Damn, missed my transition, boys. What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. It's Wacky Wednesday. Oh, there I am. Damn, that thing looks gnarly. Yeah, let's address the monkey in the... What's the monkey? No, the elephant in the room. Yes. I got jacked up at jiu-jitsu on Monday. Got a crazy scratch on my nose. It looks crazy. It doesn't hurt, don't worry. I'm okay. It's clean. Hopefully it heals okay. But yeah, I got jacked up at jiu-jitsu, so I'm back on the mats, which is good. I went for my second session of the week today, and it was good. I'm feeling super beat up, but in a good way, you know, like a good kind of sore. Not like the hurt sore, but like the sore that lets you know that you did something, you know, that you put in some work, that you stacked yet again another jiu-jitsu class. Have my white belt up here. My white belt, because it's a super important belt. It's a belt where you decide to commit to something and stick with it and work at it almost every day, right? And be willing to be, I don't know how you explain this, like there's no faking jiu-jitsu, you know? You can't fake being good. You'll get found out so fast, right? You can't pretend you're good. You can't fake it. So, you know, you can pretend to be good. You can even lie to yourself and think you're better than you are. But someone will come along and check you. Check you for stepping over the line, you habitual line stepper, right? And you learn, right? You learn. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I love jiu-jitsu. It's so real. Keeps it real, right? It's like don't trust, verify. Verify if you're good, right? Can you do that move on that dude that's a little bit bigger than you? You know? Yeah, sure, okay. If you do it, great. You don't gloat, you just do it and you move along, reset to the next round, right? If you can't do it, you know what you need to work on. So I love the philosophy in jiu-jitsu of you either win or you learn. That's so powerful because, you know, like this, that means that you're not really losing, right? You're just finding out what the next thing is that you need to work on, like what your weak points are, and that's awesome. Like that's real life feedback. Anyway, what up? Hard Huddle in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience, Mr. Hard Huddle, chilling in the back, chilling in the front. How's your week, dude? I hope everything is good. Sorry I ditched you guys on Monday and Tuesday. My sweet mother came over again, and I love it. So been hanging out with her and the kids, doing some cooking. She's been cooking. I've been making sure she's got everything she needs to cook and freezing everything. Like I'm basically like if you guys ever heard like Minecraft, right? I have a bunch of Minecraft blocks of like food. I have blocks of 1 cup and 2 cups and 4 cups of beans, of albondigas, of rice, like Mexican rice, of like chile verde, which is like pork stew with green chilies and with serrano chilies and green tomatoes. It's like a stew. It's really good. Red chili, which is kind of similar but more with like red tomatoes, and it's like a different tasting sauce. It's got what's it called? What kind of chili? It's not chipotle. It's got, oh man, I'm spacing on the name of the pepper. Anyway, it's made with a different type of pepper, so the sauce is red instead of green, and it's different taste, but it's really good. So yeah, and been stacking like crazy still. I listed my lenses that I said I would list. No hit. I said I would list last week. No hits yet on that, but they're listed, so that's off my schedule, and I haven't sent the invoice yet. I know, party foul. I failed. I still need to send out that invoice for some outstanding debt, outstanding I guess debits that I have not debits. I guess credits need to come in, or fine. I guess invoices, outstanding invoices that people need to pay, so I can stack that into Bitcoin. So anyway, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. So that's the quick little recap of what I've been doing this week and catching up. Now let's get started with the actual show and jump into the first segment of the show, and that is the Bitcoin strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is, whoa, hey, there I am. Oh, there's the intro screen. There's the browser. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $108,253.54. It seems like I went back in time, guys. It seems like, I don't know, what was the price back then? 108 seems like a long time ago. 108 seems like a long time ago. I'm not talking about this week. Let's see. Yeah, 108 seems like a long time ago. Yeah, last time we saw 108 was, I don't know. Ooh, look at that. A new block was found. Woo. Last time we saw 108 range was in, I guess August, but then before that was what? July? It just, 108 feels like it's unnatural. Going magnet fishing this weekend? What? Dude, I've seen that. That looks so fun. Those magnets are so, yeah, that's cool. The kind of fishing you don't need a license for. Bam. No, but, okay. So yeah, the price of Bitcoin is $108,000. We haven't seen that for a while. And I think it's a great buying opportunity, even though some people might be freaking out. Look, man, we're getting close to 1,000 Satoshis per dollar again, right? Makes Satoshis cheap again. So you can stack like crazy, okay? So, you know, when you were lamenting, like I was, when we were getting, what, 16,000 or 15,000 Satoshis for $20, and I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. Getting that many, so little Satoshis, when we're used to get 4,000 Satoshis per dollar, right? Now we're at a good opportunity to stack a little harder and get a little extra Satoshis for your dollar, okay? That's really good. Anyway, if you're new to the show and you don't understand what a Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can simply buy little bits of it as you go. And the best part is that every single Satoshi has the same properties as an actual whole Bitcoin. So for example, if you save $1 worth of value into Bitcoin, you would get today 924 Satoshis right there. And those 924 Satoshis, that dollar's worth of value, would be outside of the inflationary system, right? You already get to enjoy the benefits of Bitcoin, which is pretty rad, just with the dollar, right? What other investment opportunity option out there, category, is there that you can beat inflation by around 50% year over year, and you can get started in that investment for $1, right? Or $10 or $100, whatever, right? You don't have to go make, like, for example, if you're going to try to beat inflation by saving your money in real estate, you're going to have to go get a big down payment, right? And hope you get a really good deal on a house. And you have to make payments on it, make the down payment on it, pay insurance for it, and pay taxes for it every single year, regardless of if it went up or down. You still have to pay them taxes, okay? So that takes so much commitment. And on top of that, at the end of all that effort, at the end of all that things, all those things you have to do to get the loan for and buy, or to get a loan for a building or a house, at the end, you're only making close to about if you're lucky, 5% gain on that property year over year, 4% gain on that property year over year, which is not even enough to beat the hurdle rate, which is the regular rate of inflation, right? If you buy an asset and it's going up at 4%, you feel like you're making more money, right? But if during that same time the money supply is expanding at 10%, yeah, If you start from point A to point B, you made a little bit of money in your investment that's growing at 4%. But if you start from that same point and you go for that same time and the money supply expanded by 10% or 11%, right, with all these tariffs, then you are in essence still losing against inflation, even though you feel like you made a little bit of profit on your property. You're getting poorer by holding that building, by buying that company, by investing in some opportunities that are not beating that 10% hurdle rate. Okay, hurdle rate. All right. So what do? We keep it simple, baby. We buy some Bitcoin, take it off the exchange so it's in our custody. We have a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet with our own keys, right? And that's it, right? And then you just continue to repeat that process, create value for the world, right? Get paid in whatever way you can for that value that you created in the world. And then whatever form you got paid in, it could be dollars, it could be pesos, it could be yuan, whatever. You take that value that money represents and you exchange it for Bitcoin, right? And now as those monies continue to debase and continue to lose purchasing power over time, your pristine Satoshis, your fractions of a Bitcoin, even if you don't have a whole Bitcoin, will continue to gain purchasing power against those monies. And then you have, in essence, done the nope card, done the flip card on inflation, right? So now inflation, instead of stealing from you when you were saving in dollars or whatever your local currency is, now inflation is working for you because it's debasing the money while your value is in a separate place, gaining purchasing power. What do you think about that? That's how we roll. All right, was that why we stack? Because that could have been why we stack, right? Anyway, let's finish this segment. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that penny will get you right now 9.24 Satoshis, almost 10 Satoshis, guys. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, Pipeline Podcast in the house. What up, Pipeline Podcast? Good to see you in here. This is wild because the U.S. government has spent $40 billion to Argentina while the government shutdown still going and is being cut when they did, but it's being cut when they could have bought 370 BTC instead. That's true. If BTC repeats itself from 2016 from 570 to 2025, 126,000 in 9 years, for the next 9 years BTC would be $27 million. I like your thought process, Pipeline Podcast. Give me the hopium. We're here for it. Okay? Hopium alert. Hit that like button, boys. Smack up the hearts if you're enjoying the hopium buzz in full effect. All right. Let's get into the next topic of the show. Now that the hopium is high, now that I'm fully engaged, let's jump into why we stack. Why do we stack? Why do we save in Bitcoin? We save in Bitcoin because all the monies in the world, no matter where you live, are controlled by the government, and they can print money that you have worked for, and they can when they do that, the value of your savings in that currency loses purchasing power because the new money that they're creating out of nothing has to gain some purchasing power from somewhere. So by expanding the money supply, you further divide the purchasing power of that money supply, and that is how they steal from you. It doesn't matter if you have your money in a bank account. It doesn't matter if you have your money under your mattress. It doesn't matter if you have your money buried in your backyard in a pot, like a pot of gold. It doesn't matter. Inflation can still get to it. They can take the value of your money. They can take the purchasing power of your money without ever coming into contact with it. That's the beauty of inflation. That's how they've been stealing from us for generations. That's how they're gonna make you. That's how they're gonna keep you poor, working your whole entire life until you come to the realization that you worked your whole life and you've owned nothing, and you're going to die owning nothing, and you're never going to be able to retire, because that's the way it's set up. It's set up to turn you into nothing but a battery, an economic battery. That's right. Just like on the Matrix, they turn people into electric batteries. This is worse. They put you in the system, and the system is set up to keep you producing value for the higher class of people. I won't say higher class of people, for the people that are already wealthy, right? They keep the poor people working their whole lives with the hope that they might get somewhere, but you'll never be able to save up enough or create enough value as an individual against the expanding money supply. So what do you do? What is your only answer? Your only solution is to invest in things that grow faster than the rate of inflation. And one of the best ways to do it with the least risks, third-party risks, is to start saving in Bitcoin. Super simple, right? Another way to do this, my elevator pitch of why you should save in Bitcoin is, saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why we stuck. That's it. Simple as that, baby. All right. Stick around, because I'm gonna show you guys what we're actually doing here. We've been saving in Bitcoin here on the show since May 22nd, 2023. We're on our third year. We're in our third year. We haven't even made it to a full cycle yet, but here we are. We're a little bit over 0.8 BTC. The goal for the show here is to document and show the process of dollar cost averaging, and of course just doing whatever we can within the confines of the law legally to grow our stack to 1 Bitcoin. I want to show here the full story of us going from 0 BTC on our first episode and buying our first $5 worth of Bitcoin that got us 18,000 Satoshis. 18,000 Satoshis. That's amazing, right? And now, so close to being to 1 Bitcoin. Okay, so let's jump into the next topic of the show. This is where we talk about what's actually been happening, what we've been doing. Now that we talk the talk, let me show you what we've done to walk the walk, and then we're actually gonna walk the walk. So let's do that. Here we go. Oops. It's time for the stack recap. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the show, welcome. Do me a favor, guys, hit that like button on the way in, and subscribe. And if you are our 400th subscriber, let us know in the chat. Maybe there could be some special stuff for you, huh? Special shout out. All right, so here we are. It is 2025, the year of our Lord. And so far in 2025, we've saved $5,780 to our stack. And that has grown about 10%. Even though Bitcoin is down, we're still up for the year, because we buy Monday through Friday no matter what. We walk the walk after talking the talk. Okay. In 2024, we did the same thing. We bought about $20 every weekday, and then sometimes 40, sometimes 80. The lowest buy we got in last year was at $39,237 Bitcoin. That's amazing. And today that whole year we saved up $7,245, and today it's worth about $13,000. If you're new to Bitcoin and you're trying to figure out what all this means, it means this. It means that I bought 0.12 Bitcoin for $7,000 last year, and today if I wanted to go and buy the same amount of Bitcoin, 0.12 Bitcoin, it would cost me 80% more of today's weaker dollars, because the dollars are losing purchasing power. Okay, this is the biggest takeaway you should have when you're watching this show and when you're watching this spreadsheet. It's cool to see the number go up, to see that your Bitcoin is worth more, right? But the reality is, I mean, that's real too, but the flip side of that is you need to look at it this way. If you've been saving in dollars, you've lost 80% of your purchasing power, right? In a year, right? So that's nuts, right? Just in 2025, if we're only counting this exact calendar year, and you're saving in dollars versus saving in Bitcoin, you've lost 10% of your purchasing power, because that's about right? The inflation that was saying is like anyway. So let's go back. Let's keep going. So those are the 2 years itemized out or laid out, and this is the full stack for the show here, right? We started saving Bitcoin back in May 22nd, 2023, and we DCA'd here on the show live during our live streams about $16,600 so far. And that little stack has gotten us up to 0.288 Bitcoin, which is not bad at all. Having a quarter of a Bitcoin at this point is pretty significant for most people, right? It's like currently worth $31,000, right? So in the span of a little bit over 2 years, we've doubled our money, almost doubled our money. Today's happens to be a low day, but usually this is over the 100% mark. But still, even with this dip, we can stomach some more dipping here because we're so much in the green, right? So seeing the market drop is not scary for me anymore, right? It's just like, oh, okay, cool. When the market drops, I'm like, damn, we should buy extra Bitcoin because it's at a discount, right? Hence my title, still buying Bitcoin on discount. Let's go, baby, right? And yeah, that's the philosophy of it, I guess, right? Because the most important thing here in these episodes and in these purchases, right, is that no matter what price Bitcoin is at, right, whether my gains are at 80%, 10%, minus 10%, minus 20%, minus 50%, doesn't matter to me, because this number here and this number here continues to go up, right? And it's just a matter of time before the value in terms of whatever fiat currency you want to talk about will be in the positive because of the nature of what it is. Once you understand Bitcoin, that it's scarce, the most pristine asset you can own, you start to understand that the dips are transitory, I guess you could say, right? And if you hold on long enough, for at least 4 years, we haven't even gotten to the 4-year mark. Like I said earlier, we're at 2.5 years, and we're at 88%. I was hoping for 100% after, what was it, 50? Yeah, that's all right. I was hoping for 50% year over year, right? So we're on track. We're on track. Anyway, yeah, that's the basic recap. And we've done a bunch of other things here on the show, and I've talked about them to generate extra Bitcoin and get us closer to 1 BTC, which is the goal of the show, and including taking out a $50,000 loan and immediately smash buying 0.437619992 BTC, which I am right now upside down on, right? Am I? Let's see. Upside down on this one? I think I'm upside down on this one. Yeah, I think I'm upside down because, yeah, I bought at $113,000 Bitcoin. And so, yeah, currently I'm upside down on this little stack here, right? But so what should I do? Should I sell that Bitcoin and get out of the position because I'm scared? No, I'm just going to continue to make my payments, right? I have the loan for $50K, right? I'm employed, right? I'm generating revenue. I'm producing for society, and I'm getting money back for that productivity that I'm making, and I'm just able to cover my debt. I'll cover my payment as long as I can make my payment. That $50K is good to go. I've still locked in a purchase price of Bitcoin for $113,000 because that's when I bought it, right? So now no matter where Bitcoin goes up or down, as long as I make that payment, it's like DCAing my payment at a locked, fixed Bitcoin price. And yeah, sometimes it's going to go against me. Yeah, I could have gotten more Satoshis today for that $1,000 payment, right? Than if I would have gotten the loan. But for the most part, I anticipate that Bitcoin will continue to go up above 113,000. And as long as Bitcoin is above 113,000, I've still locked in my DCA at 113,000, right? So anything above that, anytime Bitcoin is above that, I'm already getting more Satoshis than you would if you're buying it on the open market, right? Like with just straight up cash. So yeah, wild. That's what it looks like. And that was a big pump, a big boost to get us close to one whole Bitcoin. We're currently 0.1217587 Bitcoin away from one whole Bitcoin, and $13,187 if you look at it in terms of dollars. That's how far away we are from one whole Bitcoin. But the grind is real, slow and steady. Getting that loan got us closer to Bitcoin so that we can have it within grasp while we're stacking $20 a day. We still probably need to do a little bit more work to get closer to that before it takes off on us. So hopefully we can get it done. Okay. Like I said, last week we've been listing things for sale on OfferUp. That's what we call the reclaimed BTCs here. Yeah, it's pretty good. MK1 in the house, man. Well done, you were awesome. Thanks MK1. I appreciate you showing up and commenting. Yeah, dude, we started about 2.5 years ago, and we're still doing it. I think the most important thing you can do once you get started saving in Bitcoin is consistency. You know, consistency. You lock in and you say, all right, you know what? If I had $1, if I spent $1 bill every day, I wouldn't miss it, right? That should be your minimum, right? All right, maybe you're doing a little bit better. If I spent $5 a day, I wouldn't miss it, right? And then you just start saving that into Bitcoin, right? And then you start to see the progress, and you see, holy shit, dude! You're like, sorry for cursing, guys. Holy smokes, Batman! That $5 that I invested about 2 years ago is actually worth $20 now, right? And then your mind explodes, and you're like, holy crap, I'm doing this wrong, right? I'm doing this wrong. I've been spending $5 on Starbucks for the last 5 years, every day, every weekday, right? That's how we do this. That's how we started the show every weekday. It was supposed to be, instead of spending $5 on Starbucks every day, every weekday on their way to work, you brew coffee at home and you stack $5 with us, right? And then we got a little bit crazy. We got a little bit more greedy. We're like, dude, we need to stack harder. So we started doing $10 buys, and then eventually $20 buys. And that's where we're at now. We're doing $20 buys to kind of keep it somewhat relatable, right? But ideally, I would like to do more, you know? It's just, we have to get to that one BTC. Anyway, we'll keep the show rocking. Basically, at this point, we check out the purchasing, our average buy price for 2025, and that is $103,000 Bitcoin. But since today the price of Bitcoin is above that, today we're going to do a $20 stack. That's right, $20 stack, because the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price for 2025. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. Time to stack some Bitcoin, baby. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Going back to the main screen. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Stacking Bitcoin makes me happy, guys. It makes me happy, right? You start seeing what it does, and then next thing you know, you start to realize that not only should you not be spending money on that Starbucks and brewing it yourself, but what else? What else are you doing in your life to not get Satoshis, you know? Are you letting a bunch of junk, a bunch of stuff you think you need in your house? Sell that shit, dude. Sell all that stuff and get yourself some Satoshis, bro. All right, here we go. Let me shake the phone for security purposes. Here's my Bitcoin. Here's my Strike app. I hit the buy button. I type in $20. That's how much Bitcoin we're buying today on the Stack Bitcoin show. I hit OK or next. It's ready to go. I cut the music. Drum roll, please. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now, live on YouTube on the Stack Bitcoin show. Here we go. Boom. Boom, son. And just like that, we've acquired an additional, this is tasty. Oh yeah. 18,338 Satoshis. Man, when we were getting what is it? I'll show you guys in a second. That's rad. That's rad. Let's do this celebratory jam. Okay. We got the Bitcoin stacked. Let's go to the browser and check out what the last buy was. Oh, I need to update my buys from yesterday and Monday. But look at, we were buying $20 worth of Bitcoin and getting 16,000 Satoshis, 15,843 Satoshis when Bitcoin was at 125,000. Yes, we buy the dips, we buy the pumps, and we buy the sideways. We buy everything. So it's all here. Cool. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do some space for the other 2 buys. You know what? Let's put all the buys in. Let's put all the buys in, guys. So if you have any questions while I'm putting in the buys, feel free to type it in the chat. We'll get to those in a little bit. Let me just start typing these in. Today is, man, it's already almost Halloween. Jesus. Crazy. Time flies when you're having fun stacking. Okay, the price of Bitcoin we deserve today is $108,299.71. Bitcoin we've invested, we saved for the future $20, and that got us 0.0001833 Bitcoin. 18,338 Satoshis have been added to the stack. Now I'm going to go over here and key in the purchases that we did for the other days. 10, I think it's 21, right? Oh yeah, 1021. I should have, no, it's 1020. 1020. Yesterday was 1021. Dang it, we missed it. Sorry, guys. The price of Bitcoin we deserved then was 100. That's pretty close. 108,246.58. $20. 0.00018,347. And finally, yesterday, 10, 21, 25. Damn, yesterday was a good day, guys. Yesterday was a good day to stack. We should have done an extra stack on that day. Oh, well. Okay, that was also, it should be 108. Yeah, 108 range. 2, 4, 6, but what? 5, 8, something like that. 20. We get 0.00018,347. What? Wait, did I type the typo that? Yeah, a second. No, they're the same. All right. Weird. All right, cool. And I'm gonna do the little formula here so we can see the weighted average. Weighted average for 20. Yeah, the weighted purchase price average is 97,000. Okay, I got these 3 here. Copying that information over, bringing it over to the master sheet, the strategic Bitcoin reserve for the show. Look at all that green, boys. Okay, there it is. Got me 3 of these guys. Boom, bop, boom, bang. There it is. All right. Oh no, I typoed I got the wrong one. This one. Copy. Paste. There we go. That way that's alternating the gray and the white. Okay, cool. So we got, here we go. With that purchase, we got ourselves up to, drum roll. At this rhythm, this portfolio will easily reach 2 million. Oh, MK21. Can you imagine? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. You know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't looked up how long it would take, when we could have our freedom date since we got the new stack. But here we go. Our current stack is now at 0. That's a lot of 87s right there. 0.87879159 Bitcoin. 87.8 million Satoshis. Guys, we're getting so close to flipping this little 8 right here. Flipping that little 8 to a 9. Oh my gosh. And then flipping this 7 to a 8. Jeez, we're close, guys. 0.12120,841 away from 1 Bitcoin. That's about $13,000. When I look at it in terms of Bitcoin, it doesn't seem like it's that bad. But when I look at it in terms of dollars, I'm like, damn, we're still kind of far. We're still kind of far. I'm gonna have to sell something, guys. I'm gonna have to sell something. Like I said, I have some lenses that I listed, and I have an invoice that I need to send out on some business that I did. So I need to get that done. Okay. But that's where the price is at. That's where our stack is at. And I want to shout out everybody that came in today to say hello. MK21, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hard Huddle in the house, always chilling and representing. Thank you so much for Hard Huddle for tuning in, and Pipeline Podcast tuning in. I'm glad you you figured out the new schedule and you're catching us live again. So thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday. We're doing the regular schedule the rest of the week. And then next week we'll do the regular schedule. Okay. So once again, boys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get this show closed out and get you guys on your way so you can do whatever it is you got to do to stack some more Bitcoin, baby. All right. So there it is, guys. October 22nd, we stacked. We talked about Bitcoin. We came in, inhaled some of that tasty, scrumptious hopium. Don't be scared of the dips, guys. If you buy the dip and it keeps dipping, buy it again if you can, right? If you can manage it, you'll be better off in the end, right? It'll get you closer to that freedom date you can get to, right? All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye.